We're here with Torgrim, the brains behind the Hole in the Sky Festival, or Bergen Metal Fest as some people call it, held annually each year at the end of August in Bergen, actually, west coast of Norway. And also jumping in today is Alan from Primordial, who has been on the other side of the fence, being that Primordial played the festival last year. So yeah, Torgrim, welcome.
Thank you.
Alan, welcome.
Welcome. Yes, thanks.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to go back, before we get to Hole in the Sky as it is today, the first festival happened in the year 2000,
yeah,
which was a tribute to Grim, a drummer, or who drummed with Torgrim and Immortal, who had died. And the first festival featured all Bergen bands, and an interesting point is that Alan was there as a tourist.
Yeah.
So could you tell us briefly, for the festival to come together first time, did it come together quite quickly? Did you plan it for a long time, or was it?
Well, actually, we pretty soon after Eric passed away, me and another guy close to him were talking at the concert that we should do something to honor him or his memory and whatever. So we just did the most natural thing and asked all the bands that he were close to, or which were particular or more or less every band in Bergen. So we asked if they would like to take part in a celebration of him as a person, So we got together with like 10 or 12 bands. I don't remember exactly, but everybody, just basically said yes and were really enthusiastic about it. And the reactions from the audience and the artists were so positive that we decided to make a annual event of it. So
that wasn't the idea before you did the first
no,
one?
it was just the intention was to do a one-off to celebrate Eric, and but it went really well, so we decided to continue. So
and that was of course in Garage in Bergen, which is quite a famous, at least in the Bergen scene. It's kind of like the stronghold. It's the pub that's been there for the longest, and
it's more like the rock venue in Bergen. But Bergen is a small town, so it's been like that for like 20 years almost now.
Yeah, and how many, because the capacity of the venue downstairs is quite small, it's like 300, 330, something like that.
Yeah, the official capacity is like 330, but during Hole in the Sky we are allowed to sell a bit more tickets because, people tend to walk back and forth between the pubs and use a lot more,
Okay, so you can be flexible with it.
Yeah.
And the first edition, how many people, how many tickets, or was it capacity?
Yeah, it was a capacity crowd. It was sold out both days. If memory serves me correct, maybe 10 less one of the days, but it was
more
pretty
or less,
much packed. Yeah.
And what do you remember from that? Was it because you were there as you were there by chance, right?
Yeah, it was just actually just visiting someone in Bergen, and just wandering around, and then just you're around the corner. There you go, poster, Eternus, Enslaved, Immortal. It's just like holy fuck. And I think it might have been sold out. I'm not quite sure how I got in, but just went down and hung around Garage, and so eventually managed to get in.
Did you go both days?
Yeah.
But I don't think we had a pre-sale at that time. I think just bought tickets at the door or something.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure about that, but yeah.
And your impression of it was good?
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere, and I think Immortal was played first, didn't it?
Yeah, they opened the first day because they had to go to the Dining Festival, if I'm correct, the day after.
Okay, so Immortal actually played first.
Yeah, they
were the first band out.
Really surprising.
Yeah.
And then you continued in 2001. Going from memory here, I think in 2001 you had Paul DiAnno.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So the first festival was Bergen bands only, but if you're going to continue with a festival like that, you have to expand or at least look elsewhere, because otherwise you run out of bands. And I'm a huge Iron Maiden fan, and just by coincidence I got in touch with his manager and asked him if it was possible to arrange something with local musicians, and he's singing Maiden songs or whatever.
Can I ask you something actually? Because he's done that now several times. I mean, he played some shows around Ireland with Irish people backing.
I think every country he goes to, he does.
Yeah.
That.
Somebody mentioned to me that was the first time he'd done that.
Yeah.
So you're responsible.
So yeah. So it was a lot of mailing back and forth, and they were kind of anxious if the bands, would do well or know the songs properly, and but we got together. The band was very well rehearsed, and they had one run through the set with him the day before, and he was really enthusiastic about it. And we continued to work with him for like a year or two. After that, we did a couple of smaller tours. But after that, he started using different musicians for each country. So he's one Brazilian band or whatever, and one Canadian band, and one Italian band, and one Finnish band, and so it's like
it all began at the second.
Yeah, because I think that's they're saving a lot of travel money on just he shows up and it's a classic song. So
was it did he do much of his own material at that time? Was it really all Maiden, or
he did one original or one of his own, The Beast Arises, and the rest was just the two first albums, from Iron Maiden. So it's pretty much a pure Maiden set, and it went on really well. But he's a funny guy, but that's another story.
And then was it 2 days again? The second year. Okay.
I think the three first festivals were 2 days, and then we expanded to with a third day on the fourth festival, if I'm not.
Okay.
Maybe the third. I'm not entirely sure.
And sorry.
Yeah, and we had Destruction as well on the second festival.
And okay, so that year it was Destruction and DiAnno who were the international headliners.
And then we had some Norwegian bands from Oslo. Audiopain, I think, was that year. I'm not sure if Arnold also played that year or the year after, but 1349 also, I think.
Okay. And 2002, which was the third one, I remember in Pale Nazarene, I think that year.
Yeah. And I guess that was the festival where we thought, okay, it's tough getting huge or big names to play the garage, so we had to move to a bigger venue if we were going to continue to not run out of bands, because you have to. The bands have to be on. You can't play the biggest one with such a small venue, because the income isn't that much.
Not gonna work.
Yeah.